This is my dad, he's pretty old. He likes eating hot stuff and making knives. So if you like this, please subscribe.
Or don't. I don't care either way.
Hey, don't interrupt me. Anyways, it's Spirited Reaper.
Welcome back, everybody. All, 5 of you, or however many watch. Right here, today's project, some cable. Now, right now, we're just preheating it. There's been no flux added, nothing like that. But today, we are going to attempt twisted up Cable Damascus. So stay tuned, and we'll just go piece by piece and step by step and show you how it's done. Maybe. Alright, I like to get it up to a decent temp. Then I hit it with this 20 mil team borax. Works just fine. Get it nice and hot. Just sprinkle a crap ton on there. See how it seeps in? Kind of does its thing. Throw it right back in. And now we just hurry up and wait. I've got my pressure up a little bit higher than usual. You see all the fire coming out the sides. Slow process. With any Damascus or anything like this that requires forge welding, take your dang time. Prep work is master and the key in this. Now this, I did not clean that steel. It had some grease on it. It was part of a skid steer for a logging operation. So it's nice and oily. All that is already burnt off. We got some flux on it. Now we're just trying to get it up to temp. Just about up to temp. I'm going to stick it in this cheap little vise. I'm going to use this. Buddy Mike welded me a piece of rebar bolt. Make me a nice twisty device. Way better than doing it with 2 different pipe wrenches at the same time. That's kind of a pain. So, your first twist, the twisting portion is the forge weld. Make sure this thing is screaming hot. I turned down some lights. Maybe you can see the color a little better. I'll put it here and give it a twist. Direction that it's already going. Slipped on me. Brush this off. It again. Brush off all this yuck. Got some in my shoe right there. See how it's starting to cool all at once? Looks right. Get in there. Piece of safety advice. Crocs. No, no, no. Every one of them little holes seem to find a little piece of hot. Those little pieces of hot suck. Hopefully everybody likes these goofy videos. Put the lid back on this. Remember, smoking, bad for you. Don't do it. Waiting on this thing to heat up again. We'll give it one more good twist. We'll give it one more twist in there. Then we'll take it out and we're going to bump it nice and easy with a hammer all the way around until it feels like it's one solid piece. Brush the scale off again. This time a little further away from my feet. That kind of sucked. I'm going to brush the scale off because the borax gets in there and keeps it from, you know, oxidizing or whatnot in between. But if you leave it on the outside and then beat on it, you'll put that crap in your steel and it'll be a booger to grind out. Alright, it's just about hammer time. Bit of 80s and 90s joke there. I'm going to use my usual hammer. It's kind of my favorite. I'll put this on here and give it nice smacks. Just turn it every single couple seconds. Oh, I hate using tongs. Tongs bug me. Try to square this up a little bit here. Yeah. This is what it looks like, kind of a square. Looks like it's cooling. I've learned with Damascus, as it cools, if one part gets black and cools off way faster than another, it ain't welded. What you want is that whole piece, like the whole piece of steel, if it's bright orange or bright red, whatever color, you want it to fade out slowly about the same rate so the whole thing stays glowing until it doesn't. If it starts looking like this, but one side's red, you didn't get a weld in there right, and more than likely you might as well start all over. Sometimes you can still make it work. Throw a bunch of flux on it, beat the living fire out of it. Sometimes that works. When you're working with cable, the outside edges of it, they will have ridges. So the tighter you spin it the first time, the easier it'll be in the long run. There'll be some grinding that has to be done to get through all that, see what it kind of looks like. This, you can't really see it at all. Check that out. See if you can get a good, better look at this. Can't really see it. This was a piece of cable I did the other day at Mike's. Well, he did. We were testing it to see if it was good steel, see if it would work. By golly, it worked. This came from about the same piece as that, so it gets dwindled down pretty quick. That's about all you get out of that little stick, but it's enough for something. If you keep it almost at forge welding temp, it'll move a whole lot better. Keep it hot. About like that. Wow, that stuff is hot, fellas. Ladies and gentlemen, that hurt really bad. Hit me in the forehead. Apparently that's why everybody always uses safety equipment. Because I guess even though this is technically one piece of steel that we've kind of mushed into, a bunch of pieces of steel mushed into one, little bits fly off, and guess what? These little bits suck. They're hot as balls. We're getting there. Let's start mashing this out, see if it works. I'm gonna check my dang foot and make sure I ain't bleeding or something crazy. Not bleeding, but I got a couple little dots. Two dots. All right. lighten this thing up, which is not easy by hand. But as you can see, that whole piece is all changing color pretty much at the same time. See how that's doing that? Just slowly going. That's what you want to see. Now the end cuts on this are pretty much useless because they probably more than likely will blow apart because they were actual, you know, just welded at first to hold them all in place. Hey, that stuff's hot on my feet. Well, yeah, safety precautions. Good learning lesson today. Don't wear shorts. Don't cut your jeans off. I was on a tree job, it got hot, and lost my jeans. Oh. Wear better shoes. Like America and everything, but dang. These Crocs, not very fire resistant. I think they're more like fire magnets. They just drew the little pieces of hot to my feet. And then they just had a little party in there on top of my foot. But, you know, you only live once, and I got 2 cool little bitty tiny blisters, so fair enough. At least it's an even number, so hopefully we can stick with that. Alright, we'll go again here. Here's the base of this. Kind of going side to side with it. All the way down the dumb thing. Straightening back out that, like I said, the edges up on the end, that all gets ground off. So if that didn't stick good, so be it. As long as most of it's stuck after that, as long as it's stuck after that, you're good. It's looking pretty decent. Not bad for the first time ever doing this by myself. Like I said, I did it yesterday with old Spicy Mike, but he has a whole different skill set than me. And he has, you know, fancy stuff like a press that make that a whole lot easier. Man, it's hot on my butt. Hey, don't sit on your anvil right after you beat on stuff. I learned something myself today. But anywho, we were able to put that in the press after we got it twisted up and mushed it out flat and long, so it was getting even pressure from both sides. With a hammer, you're kind of only getting pressure from the top, even though you got your anvil underneath. Most of your pressures come from the top. So we're winging it. It's possible. People can do this. It's no big deal. It's fun. Even if you fail, hey, you learn something. You learn from your mistakes. You have fun. That's all that matters. Pull this out of here, see what we got. But yeah, don't sit on the top of the anvil after you just pull steel off of it. Just full of bad ideas today. Alright, here we go. Look at the scale flying off of that. You should probably, along with, you know, some people wear hearing protection because ding 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 gets a little annoying, I'd say. And probably if you do it for enough years, it probably would annoy you and mess with your hearing a little bit. I've shot a lot of guns, so hearing is kind of optional at this point. My hearing still seems to be fine, so I guess we'll just wing it. But see how that's looking? Just about ready. Probably 1 or 2 more passes. I'd like for that to be a little bit longer. See what we do. Yeah, in general, safety first. Well, if you're grinding, fooling with that stuff, get you some dust masks. Harbor Freight sells this big huge box of all of them but like 2, because whoops, those are handy to have. Safety glasses. They're way better on your head than they are hanging on the wall. So, want to do as I say, not do as I do things. Oh come on and heat up. And I don't mean outside. It's been sweltering hot here in Southern Illinois for the last 2 or 3 weeks. We had a whole lot of no rain. And then all of a sudden we got all the rain we'd ever want in like 2 days. And heck, it looks like it's going to rain again any minute. So that's always fun. Well, at least my peppers will grow, maybe. Eventually they will. Alright. Again, don't do these. These are bad. But I run on caffeine, nicotine, and anger. Fun times. But take your anger out right here on the anvil. Don't do dumb stuff. Alright, let's see how hot this thing is now. I'd say it's way past no touching. Yeah, it looks like a big no thank you right there. Square him up just a little bit so he's not such a wonky shape. I can make something small out of this. It won't be anything big and extravagant. But heck, who am I kidding? I don't make anything big and extravagant anyway. But I have fun with it. That's what matters. It is all about the same thickness now. Well, maybe. If I stop smacking that one spot, it'll be alright. I keep smacking the same friggin' spot. That thing straightened out, make me a nice little billet there. I mean, not nice, but yeah, it's a billet. It ain't nice. What do they say? It ain't dumb if it works, right? Well, it seems to have worked. When I go to put this thing on the YouTubes for you, I'll try to have this cleaned up and etched on one side at least so you can see what it looks like as it went along. And hopefully that'll work. If there's anything you want to see me make in general, like something random, if it's within my realm, hell, I'll try it. Got my hammers, got my anvils, we're good, got the forge running. So drop it down in the comments if there's something random you want me to make. You know, something, even if it's something stupid like my not so famous railroad spike buoy karambit with blood grooves. Ooh. World's dumbest compilation knife. But actually fits good in the hand. Which is weird as can be. And it doubles as a hammer if you need to drive a nail. Right there is what we ended up with. Man, my beard's frizzy today. Woo, gee whiz. Anyway, right there's what we ended up with. About a 1/4 inch thick or so. And it's about that wide. I mean, it's hot, so I don't really want to touch it, but I'm going to measure it anyway. A little over 5 inch, 5.5 inch piece. So probably 5 once I snip the ends of it off. This end up here I'll probably just grind. This one I'll cut off and then grind it. But I guess stay tuned for more random forging videos. And turn that off so you can hear me. As always, try to be nice. Don't be a douche canoe. Have fun. And hammer on. Stay spicy, y'all.